Hello guys and welcome to, well, a kind of a rehash video. This is not my common videos, but I thought it would be nice to have this separately. This is just the OSL and plasma glow portion of my Death Corpse of Creek video, separate and in a more convenient format for those of you that just want to see the plasma glow and OSL. So, if you have seen the Death Corpse of Creek video, there's nothing new for you here, but if you haven't seen that and you're interested, go and check the video that it's right there. So with that out of the way, let's get cracking. I'm going to base coat the plasma coil using Blood Angels Red. It's time to move into the OSL plasma effect, and for this I'm going to start by painting the inside of these vents with Evilson Scarlet. I also want to pick just the very edge of the vents as well. With that out of the way, I'm going to move into the plasma coil, and for this I'm going to take Wild Rider Red, and I'm going to paint this onto the lower side of the coils. Just like this, also flooding the lower side like this. With that step now dry, I'm going to take Fire Dragon Bright and I'm thinning it down to a wash consistency. I'm thinning this down quite a lot and I want quite a lot of paint in the brush here. And you can see how I'm flooding the underside and all around the plasma gun, letting that run into the recess there. And I also going to pick up some of the inside of in between the plasma coils. While that dries, I'm going to do this that I just forgot. I'm going to take Wild Rider Red and I'm going to paint the inside of the vents here. And I also going to take Fire Dragon Bright and do the same, but I'm going to do it closer to the body of the gun. My Fire Dragon Bright is now dry and I'm going to take Lugganath Orange and I have them again thinned down, and I want this very liquid, so it will again run into the recess, and I'm going to apply this right at the base here. Just like that. And I'm going to pick just a tiny bit of the inside coils. Just like that. And here I will just apply this right where the vents end. Well, this is now looking very nice, but I want to darken the top of the coils, the raised bits of the coils a tiny bit, so they will stand out more and create a bit more contrast. And for this I'm going to take Blood Angels Red contrast paint, and I have this thinned down just so it flows nicely and I don't have too much of this on my brush. I'm just going to pick and darken down the tops of the coils just like that. And I also, with this contrast paint, I'm going to try to define better the bends. Just like that. So our plasma coils are looking rather well, but they don't look to be glowing very much, but that's just because we have no OSL around it, so that will help sell out the effect. And for this I'm going to use Evilson Scarlet, and I'm going to thin down my Evilson Scarlet into a sort of heavy glaze consistency. You can see it here how thin it is, and I'm going to apply this around the plasma effect. So you can see I'm moving my brush from the outside into the plasma coil. And I will keep building this up until I have a line of pure red just there. Here I'm going to be a bit more subtle, and I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of this Eboson Scarlet around the vent. So now our plasma coils look more glowy, but I'm going to increase that a tiny bit more using Wild Rider Red, and I'm just going to pick the very edge just here. And then I'm going to take Fire Dragon Bright, and I have my Fire Dragon Bright very thin down. You can see it's very thin. And I'm going to do a very small edge highlight with this. Mainly towards here on the corner and here on the other side. Just like there. Same here on the smaller bends. I'm just going to try and pick up the very edge with this. All that is done, and I went with my magnification glasses, and I refined this very carefully, going back and forth between defining the vents, for example, and the edge highlight around them. All that sort of process that takes quite a bit, but you have to do it. It's basically what you just saw, just going back and forward. And now I'm going to sell this a little bit more, doing some OSL effect. And for this, I'm going to take Eboson Scarlet, and I have this thin down, as you can see here, quite thin down. And I'm going to apply this in the places where I think light from the plasma will catch. So for example, top there on this skull here, a tiny bit on this edge. The rivets of course will catch quite a lot. And I'm going to do a tiny bit on the hand, just here on the top of the finger. Here on this armor plating that he has there. Remember, with this, usually less is more. So you will sell this more if you are careful with this. Think that this is a broad daylight, and in broad daylight you won't have like a massive light shining on his side because what is the sun above. And I'm going to do this on the helmet. And metallic details are very particular in how they reflect light. So I'm going to do, like, I'm going to glaze this carefully there. I'm going to glaze on the shoulder armor here too. And here on the collar. But not much. Metal will reflect light more intensely, but in a narrower space. So if you think about light reflecting over some matte surface, it will flood the whole surface, but over metallic details it will concentrate more and reflect more of the light. So I'm going to do just that. Now just for the metallic details, I'm going to take Wild Rider Red and I'm going to do the same, but in the middle of this. And now finally I'm going to take Fire Dragon Bright and I'm going to add just the tiniest of highlights right there. Just because, again, metallic details will reflect all the light, but very, very concentrated. So off camera I've been adding more and more OSL effects, but I think I need just a teeny bit more to convey the effect of different materials. And again, metal reflects light very intensely but very narrowly, so I'm going to take Lugganath Orange and I'm going to do a very small highlight of Lugganath Orange just in the middle there of that big reflection. And a tiny dot there. Just like that. And with that out of the way and the base painted, our Death Corpse of Krieg model is finished. And honestly, I had one of the best times painting this model. Had such a good time that I'm probably going to paint at least 5 of them, just to have like a small display of some of the most amazing models GW has made recently. And I will try to play with OSL in all of them because it was so much fun. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Do you like my videos and want to help me make them? Well, there are several ways you can do that. You can follow me on social media. You have the links to all my social media in the description below. You can also check all my affiliate links in the pinned comment of this video. Use those links in your next hobby purchase and help me without any additional cost to you. I finally have a link for the brushes that I use down there. Don't forget to check the merch that you can see just below this video in the shop tab of my channel. But most importantly, there is Patreon and channel members. You have the link to my Patreon in the description below and in the pinned comment of the video. Or if you prefer, you can just click the join button below this video. Patreon and channel members help me do all the cool projects that I want to make and help me improve the quality of my videos. Don't be afraid. No content will ever be hidden behind a paywall, but it's a nice way to help me and you will get something back for your generosity. As I said guys, thank you very much for watching. A special thank you to Heather Amsterdam, Sigismundi, Nicolas Funel, Brian Bledsoe, LMAP Limited, Tyrannosaur, Christopher Moret, Javi Mota, Kim Anderson, Michael Boye, Table Miniatures, Thomas Ustekart, Beldrain, Victor Domen, Arondel, Carlos Rivera, Charles Armintage, Chris Fyvie, Kieran Omurtha, Darcy Farrar, Dr. B, Gareth Smith, George Royce, G4, Jamie Milligan, Josh Simpson, JT Butler, Kevin Mian, Kevin Sulas, Ronald Lindman, Mark Jarvis, Natius Maximus, One Brushstroke Bearer, Oscar Jonathan Thornberg, Samuel Sasha Park, and Tasted for being the coolest persons in the planet. Be like these fine folks on my Patreon and take control.